Hey, what's up, everyone? My name's Lionel, and I'm your host for LT Productions, and you are watching I Watch You Watch. We are covering Family Empire Houston. This is season 1, episode 2, and I'm so glad that you came to my channel. Thank you so much. I would appreciate you even more if you would please like this video. If you're new to my channel, please subscribe and welcome old visitors. And if you're a visitor, why don't you make that commitment and just hit that subscribe button? And welcome back to all of my supporters. You can leave your comments below. I do want to be just transparent. I am in a mood today. I'm emotional. I've been triggered by some things that have gone on this past week. And there was even some things in this episode that was triggering to me. It has to stem with stuff that's happened on another show with Love and Marriage Huntsville. I'm not going in all of that, but just to let you know, stuff is very triggering to me. One day I'll make a video on the stuff I've been dealing with for the past 7 years. And it's not been good. But I didn't feel like keeping it on the inside, and I just needed an outlet. It's not me wanting sympathy, but I have to learn to just talk about it so that I'm not internalizing everything. So, but there were some emotions that just got me thinking about my grandmothers and grandfather, just watching this episode. So, but, you know, pray for people. Pray for people. I would say pray for me, and thank you if you do. Pray for people. Because we need it. And that's all I got to say. All right, so we start off this episode, and it's with Nicole. She's getting up for the day. It's 4 o'clock in the morning. Her day starts at 8 o'clock as far as her professional day. But she uses this time as her time to have for herself, and this is the time that she gets her hairdresser to come over to do her hair. And this person, Kendra, who is a family friend, comes over. They kind of got different personalities. One's a little bit more hyper. Nicole says she's a little bit more extra. But anyways, this is the time. They talk a little bit about Larry, her husband. He gets in, he's supposed to be in, what was it, 5 o'clock normally with his stint right now. We still don't know what Larry does as of yet. They roll back some of the clips of where we saw that, you know, some of the things from the past about Larry. We don't know what that is. How they function in this episode, I'm not really curious to know anymore. I don't need to know. It looks like they're past that, at least from this episode. Because I think they shot that other stuff about a year or so ago. Maybe they have moved over that hump. I'm just not nosy like that at this point. But anyways, he's been getting in about 5:45 and all that because of whatever his job is. Is he a construction worker? That would be the only thing that I would think he was doing, since you know a lot of construction now happens at night instead of during the day. But anyways, Larry does come in after Kendra leaves and all that. They talk for a few minutes. She does let them know. She does let him know about what happened at the get together with the sister cousins, and how she just didn't appreciate. Was it Jaquisha that made this comment or this joke about this walls being up? And Larry's like, I'm surprised she actually did that. I guess I have not really known the seriousness, or I was like, okay. like I said last week, I just didn't really feel like what Jaquisha said should have meant that much to you. Lord, if your other sister, which I'll get in just a second, oh my Lord, Lakeisha, if she was saying something, then okay, I could get that. Like, but she didn't. She was there open and ready. So it's like, okay. But then Nicole said, she knows the deal between me and Lakeisha. She grew up around us, so why make that type of joke? I still don't understand why you left. You could have said, Lakeisha, come with me. And y'all could have had your talk. That's just how I feel about the whole situation. I think they talked a little about his schedule and things of that nature, and then he's headed off to sleep. The next day, or whenever the next scene, we get some of the G1s together along with Miss Oscarine. And this is where I just started kind of breaking down, because I started missing my grandmothers when I saw Miss Oscarine. I said, Lord, and it's been years since they've been gone, but I still miss them. There's some type of event that's going on. I think Miss Oscarine she's doing stuff that she probably shouldn't be doing at her age. I think she's 86, they said in this episode. They're getting tables and all that together, moving chairs, but Miss Oscarine is just feisty. So they talk about the land. Jermisha is there also. Of course, G1s, they still want what Mama and Daddy said that they were going to give them. Even though it has been stated that Papa wanted G2s to have it and go on and do what needs to be done with the land. Jermisha just talked a little bit about, black owners of land. It's harder, and the only way that a lot of black owners were able to purchase land was through cash. You didn't have all the equity of loans and things of that nature. They weren't doing it for black people. So it's good to see how far that we're coming along, if you want to call it that, and equality. But it's good to get that life lesson, I think. Miss Oscarine ended up saying, you know what, I'm going to hold on to it. Meaning, because before she just wanted to sell it outside the family, and just so she can get the taxes out of her pocket, or at least keep some of that tax money. But now she's going to hold on to it. And Jermisha was like, well, she knows that this is not a no or a yes, but it's something that we can really work with now. And when Miss Oscarine wants to sell it, it's going to be with the family. And I think that that's a great idea. So Jermisha is going to come up with plans in regards to that. At least to sell it really, really good to Miss Oscarine. The next scene is with Lakeisha and her girlfriend, Caramel. Now, you know that there's this debate about caramel and caramel. People say it either way, tomato. But anyways, that's her girlfriend. They have been together for 2 years. Lakeisha talks a little bit about how things have went within the family, kind of feeling left out at times, and really wanting a better relationship with Nicole. I'm still trying to figure out, why is there no struggle with Monet and Lakeisha? Yes, she's younger, and maybe they didn't grow up around each other because of possibly the age range or whatever, but does she feel a certain way? But we find out that Nicole and Lakeisha were born the same year. So Dad was doing double dipping, basically. But I think they also talked about engagement. And she says that it's coming soon. That it's in the works and all that good stuff. Well, she didn't say coming soon, it's in the works. So we don't know when that's going to be, but hey. Next, we talk about who was next. Oh, Lakeisha and Nicole. They finally have their sit down. I thought it was going to be different. I thought it was going to be very contentious. They handled everything kind of just in a more mature way. Nicole has felt like there's been this wall up between them, and Lakeisha's been scared to talk to her, and Nicole has been scared to talk to Lakeisha. And Lakeisha did bring up that, I think that we let outside forces get in our ears about certain things, because at some point it hadn't been no wall up. It's developed over time. Like growing up and all that good stuff, it was still good. They get on the conversation about their dad, and that was a trigger for me. I don't know. And this is just me. And you guys can feel the way that you want to feel, and I have no objections of that, and this isn't me casting y'all off. I don't know what's worse. Having an absentee dad, like you don't know who, where, what, or having a dad around but not present, meaning this, not emotionally available. He's a provider, because they mentioned that too between their dad. They don't express their emotions. They felt like the dad loved them. I wish I could say that. I'm glad you guys at least had that feeling, but I know that there's a yearning for emotional intelligence coming from your parents. Instead of, because when you're a provider, you're doing things that you feel like you have to do. And maybe not necessarily what you want to do. And love makes you provide, or and all that good stuff, but when you just don't know if this person even likes you, it's hard. So it's like, would it have been better if I never knew my dad? Or to have him around and he just give me stuff? I don't know. But y'all can get in the comments and let me know. Nobody's wrong in this whole situation. I'm just bringing out this thought. But they patch things up and they're going to move forward in rebuilding their relationship as it should be. And I'm glad that they did whatever. Nicole talks about this get together where the sister cousins and all that. And it's going to be fun. We go to LaQuisha's. Is it LaQuisha? Or hopefully I'm saying your name wrong and I'll get it right next week. I promise I will. LaQuisha's home. Chris is there. LaQuisha's about to go on vacation with her travel buddies. Chris, they're having a little husband and wife, little banter here about what she should be wearing. She's got this dress for this, I think, white party or whatever. He's like, you don't even wear that for my dates. So, he also got on the subject of, okay, I don't know what's going on with Nicole and all that, but where's my contract? And then they go back to the flashback of the photo shoot that happened 4 days ago. And he's like, look, I don't think that it's fair that I'm just stuck in limbo. Let's do things right. LaQuisha, she tries to stay out of it as much as possible. She hears her husband, she hears her cousins and sister, and leaves it at that. All right, so Nicole has all the sister cousins over, plus Aunt Nikki. Aunt Nikki is Miss Oscarine's daughter and also realtor. She's the youngest and the one that tries to stay out of the mess between the G1s and G2s, because the G1s said, we're gonna do what we're gonna do as what mom and daddy told us. Forget y'all G2s. We'll worry about you when we're taken care of. After we're taken care of. Blah, 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 blah. So she's kind of just playing neutral between the G1s and G2s. So anyways, they're having, of course, this get together with food. And instead of massage therapy, stretch therapy. Monet, which is Nicole's sister and LaQuisha's sister, is the only one that's not married. She's the youngest out of the group that's not married right now. And she tries her attempt to flirt with the stretchologist. And he's pretty good looking too. We find out he's married. There's also another woman assistant, but we don't even see her. We've seen her for 1 second. We don't even see her stretching nobody. So everyone's getting on the stretcher, getting stretched out, all this good stuff. Jamisha, she getting stretched out. I said, well, let me see where I can find a stretchologist. Hey. So they're doing all that, blah, 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 blah. Aunt Nikki comes in, and they just get to talking. Aunt Nikki tells them about what the G1s are saying about this property. Jamisha said, hey, no, Granny said that, hey, she's keeping it in the family, and there's a possibility that we can buy it or whatever. And Aunt Nikki's like, are you... Oh, I did forget a part. I forgot a part. LaQuisha and... No, Jaquisha. That's her name. That's what it is. Jaquisha, right? They come together. They want at least a perfect plan to knock the socks off of the G1s. They're getting a developer, Jaquista, is giving her plans of what she thinks should happen with the property, parking lot here, a dog place, a dog place, and all that good stuff, a pet place. But we can skip that now. So they're talking and all that good stuff, and the women are just kind of going back and forth. You know, Aunt Nikki's just going to stay out of it, and that's just it. Because they got to not only impress Miss Oscarine, but I think 3 other of the sisters of the G1s in order for anything to ever come into fruition as to what the G2s want to have happen. We switch over to the guys, Larry, Justin, and Chris. They hang out, and it's said that those three don't really hang out that much. And I guess they've been a part of the family for a while, so I would love to know why. I know that Larry has a weird schedule and all that, but I think the men need to do what they need to do too. But they, of course, they are the surviving the Braden women. Chris talks about, I need a contract and all that good stuff. I need to go somewhere where I'm respected. Da 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 da. On the flip side, they start talking about Chris with his sister cousins, and Nicole is like, yeah, we need to get this contract together, because where else can you go and say where you're not going to do this and that, da, 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 and you still get to keep your job? True. I can see points on both sides. I have been on Chris's side for the most of everything. And again, as I said last week, they just need to trust Chris and his abilities and go from there. Then we go back to the women. They talk a little bit about Lakeisha with Caramel. Is marriage in the future? She says that is in the works. They talk about money. She said keep money separate. I do agree to that to a certain degree. I think that have your own. Also build something together. Have your own separate accounts, and then also a joint account. Something that you guys can build together. I think so. It is a partnership. They talk about money, for the women, you just don't tell the men your income. The Braden women are really good at handling finances, and less, it's more of a need to know basis, and you don't need to know as far as what she got going on with the money. That was basically the end of the episode. I loved it. I love you guys. I love what you guys are bringing. Thank you for allowing me to just share myself for a few minutes. Just keep people in prayer. Be nice. Be positive. Speak good things to people. Compliments go a long way. Just a little bit of, that shirt looks nice on you. I like your hair today. Women, I like how you did your makeup today. Something, it's time out for all this negativity all the time. But I do appreciate everyone for coming to my channel. Thank you again. Please hit the like button. Also, please subscribe if you are not subscribed, and you can leave your comments below. And until the next video, peace.